We used to race together every morning, but now I'm the only one running. I loved her more than words could describe. We'd always been there for each other. We still are. I don't know that she loves me anymore, but she's still there for me. The emptiness I see in her eyes when I tell her I love her, the sadness I see as she gazes back to me, then it's gone. The girl I fell in love with in high school is no more. I still love her more than I can express, but it's starting to take a toll. We met in our junior year. She was a transfer. I was the athlete. I ran track on a collegiate level by the time I was 16. She was a runner too. It's part of how we connected so fast. I started skipping the regular runs to go with the girls' team for the day. I never let it affect my performance, but my buddies gave me a hard time for leaving them to go run with her. It was the usual teasing, and it was worth it. What I wouldn't give to be teased for running with her again. Senior year, she was planning on going to an out-of-state university. I was crushed, but I kept it together. I started studying as hard as I could. That did affect my performance on the track, but I managed to do well enough to earn a spot in the state championships. Came in third overall for the 400 meter too. I brought my GPA up to a 3.6 by getting straight A's the entire year. I applied to several colleges, including the one she was set on going to. Her 4.0 GPA earned her a spot almost immediately, while I had to wait. Finally, I was told that I would not be accepted. Devastated didn't really cover the emotions. I drank. I was only 17 at the time, but I started taking my dad's alcohol until he caught me and cut me off. I decided to give it my all. I applied to the same school in an attempt to secure an athletic scholarship. I didn't technically have the times to make the track team, but if I was close enough, they'd give me a live audition in person. I received word later that same week that I would be given a shot to make the team. We trained together. She paced me on a bicycle when she couldn't keep up running, and I went into the audition in the best shape of my life. I ran my personal best in every event they tested me on, beating my time at state by a full 2 seconds on the 400 meter. I made the team that day. They didn't even wait to tell me. The track coach was thrilled when I crossed the line. We were happy. In college, we both excelled in our various activities. She still ran with me, and I still studied with her. She was going for an engineering degree, and I was after sports medicine to accompany my running. I ran and won several events before suffering a persistent knee injury that slowly but surely set my running career back a few years. She got her first A- and discussed it with the professor, college, and dean about it for weeks before finally accepting the grade. The year she graduated, she beat me by 6 months. I proposed. She accepted, and we planned on getting married the month after my graduation. We had plans to drive to Colorado to meet her family and then travel through several other states to see the sights before we settled down. This was our honeymoon. It was the best days of my life, and it was almost 6 years ago now. After we got back, something changed. We were running, and she looked up and started to hold her neck in a strange way. There was blood coming from her ear. We immediately went to the doctor, and she was diagnosed with a small growth near the base of her skull. It was in a terrible place, very close to the brainstem. It appeared to be non-cancerous, but the doctors wanted to biopsy it just to be sure. When the results came back, we were overwhelmingly relieved. It didn't appear to be harmful and could remain where it was, under supervision. That's what they told us. Less than a month later, we were involved in a very serious car accident. I was incredibly lucky. I had a head injury, bruised lungs, numerous cuts and bruises, and 2 damaged teeth. She wasn't. Her left foot was nearly detached just above the ankle. Her knee was basically destroyed, and she received a severe head injury. They didn't know the extent of it on the spot, but they told me she was being taken to surgery immediately to relieve pressure on her brain. They were going to make an effort to reattach her foot if the first surgery went well, and to begin with, it did. They told me that she'd need several additional surgeries, but that, amazingly, they didn't expect much of a loss of function from the limb. It wasn't a complete detachment, and the major nerves were intact. There'd be some difficult physical recovery, but she'd be okay. After the swelling went down, they completed the procedure, and we began the long road to recovery. Physical recovery was indeed difficult, but that was my line of work, so I could help her whenever she needed. I was always there for her, and she for me. After months and months, she was able to walk again. Occasionally, she'd stumble. The ankle just wasn't as stable as it used to be. Eventually, she got over the stumble and she began to run again. Short distances at first, but once her doctor cleared her to run with me, she was on it nearly every day I was. Everything was better until one morning when she lagged behind me about 20 feet. I looked back and saw her stumble again. This time it seemed different. Her leg didn't so much give out as it looked like it hadn't done what she had told it to do. We went back home and tried to relax, but her foot began to twitch. Fearing some sort of unseen surgical complication, we went to the doctor. He examined her foot and found nothing wrong. He actually told her that it was in better shape than he ever expected. After several more stumbles such as this, we finally had a detailed test done. During the test, her heart acted normally, but she began to see spots and get dizzy. A scan revealed the cause. The growth was bigger, much bigger. After consulting several doctors and trying different approaches, surgery was the only option. She told me she loved me. I told her the same. We knew the risks. She went into surgery staring back into my eyes. I waited for nearly 12 hours. I stood in the cold January air as they told me the difficult news. I couldn't stand it. I just nodded. Outwardly, I had no reaction. I said nothing. The growth had been so close to her brainstem that there were always risks. She knew that just as well as I did. It took the doctor so long to explain everything. The growth hadn't been the only thing to worry about. During the operation, she had a medical complication. The doctors didn't catch it until it was too late. I still go out with her. She doesn't say anything. I think she at least enjoys being outside. She has limited feeling and movement below her neck. The medical complication affected crucial parts of her brain for too long. The growth did other damage, but due to the complication, we'll never know how much. She can't tell me anymore, but we still care for each other. At least I still love her. I push her using a special stroller. My buddies occasionally come with us. They don't tease me anymore. What I'd give to be teased like I used to. Teased for being with her.